Greetings from Blade Show Atlanta. So I made it through TSA with absolutely everything I was carrying, which honestly surprised me. Some of the items that ended up making it through TSA, and they did, like, two individuals basically took the whole thing apart, looked at absolutely everything, and basically said, you're good to go. So I want to go over what was in my pockets and the things that I carried kind of as a test. So we're gonna get the bag out of the way for the time being and talk about first what was in my pockets. We'll put that away as well. So I've talked about this a number of times. This is the Redeem Creations wallet that I've been carrying for a little while now. I absolutely love it. I have some flashcards that I fold in half that I keep as my note-taking capability, and I just love this wallet. So we'll put this over here. But this is interesting. So I am fairly sure, I'm gonna take these out of here for a second. I am fairly sure who the two individuals that were working maybe don't have the updated rules. Now, these rules are not written anywhere, but supposedly you're not allowed to carry a utility knife blade without the blade. Now, the way I had it set up, I didn't have the blade. We'll talk about why I have blades now, but I had it set up just like this, without the blade on the inside. So just as you see it, they took it apart, they opened it up, and they let me through with it. This is the one I thought they were gonna take, and I was basically just gonna accept the fact that they took it. So that worked. Awesome that actually made it through. I didn't expect it. Now, the other thing that I've shown on my Instagram were these. These were my keys, my key set. Now, I don't have to keep my house keys, obviously, but I wanted to include some items that someone might have on their keychain. So I have an Olight charging dock. So this is a titanium charging dock that works with Type-C, a nice little addition. That's not something to worry about, but the scissors, these are the Fiskars scissors, and they work really, really well, especially when you first get them and they're new, but not 100% chance that they're gonna get through TSA, but in this case, they did. And then the remaining items on here are, of course, the Leatherman style PS, which you would expect would get through TSA, as well as the Jet Setter, which you would also expect would get through TSA, but it's never a given. So this has scissors and the Phillips driver setup with the tweezers and the toothpick. And of course, we have the Leatherman style PS, which has a little mini plier and tweezers and all the other stuff. I didn't expect any issues with the Baton 3, and I've been carrying this a lot lately, primarily because of this magnetic link system. This is something that I hope a lot more manufacturers do because it is very, very convenient. Now, in addition to those things, I was also carrying in my pocket a pair of 4-inch slip joint pliers from Snap-on, and I was also carrying my Aviator B3 pen. This is my favorite pen ever. I just love it, and it's a great pen for traveling because it has a pen, a black pen, a red pen, and a pencil built in with an eraser right here. Just an awesome pen. Love this thing. Have my Hank. So that was pretty much what was in my pockets. I also had my Wazoo cap, which I have loaded up with an extra mask if I need it, some band-aids in the side because, you know, we're going to Blade Show, someone's gonna need a band-aid, and just my standard everyday stuff. So paper clips, bobby pins. I have an 8-year-old daughter, so I leave that stuff in there, and all of that went through. So really cool that all of that actually went through. I would not say that it's a given that this Milwaukee Fastback will always get through. That is the one thing that I think will probably not happen ever again. But hey, here we go. The other thing they really didn't bother with at all was anything in my bag, my shoulder bag. Now, I have really been loving this bag. I've never talked about it, but it is my favorite way to carry a water bottle but still have a very small form factor. This is the Grail bag. It is made in the United States. It has one of the, as I said, the best carrying system for a water bottle I've ever seen. And even after, well, it does need some modifications, which we'll have to talk about in a later video, but it carries my very large Grail water bottle. And this thing is very, very helpful when traveling because if you've ever used a water fountain at an airport, the water tastes like crap. And if you don't want to spend $5 per bottle, disposable, you can actually get nice tasting water, especially if you're on a longer trip. It does save quite a bit of money, more than enough to cover the filter And so yeah, this is an easy one for me. It also has an added trick I'll show you in a little bit with something else that I brought. So I brought some other gear that I thought would be fun to have. So we brought the titanium Warrior Mini, and I'll show you what's kind of cool about that in a minute. I also got this. So this is a wallet by Anti-Gear Co. In fact, this gentleman was one of the people that got me really interested in EDC in the first place, but just because of the incredible customer service experience that I had. And the wallets actually held up incredibly well. But in this case, I actually have Ben Peterson's new driver. This thing is sweet, really, really sweet. But because of its shortened length, it's perfect in this little setup. And then the other thing I have here is my custom jet setter. So it's basically just a jet setter, but it has the pen setup from the signature and all of those. Inside, we have the Wazoo patch, which I've cut a small amount of it away, and inside you have 4mm bits. So this wallet kind of is all contained. It has my business cards. That's what I'm holding with it. And yeah, I'm actually not gonna reassemble that because it'll take a few seconds. So that all made, they didn't even look at this jet setter, which I thought was a bit of a surprise. That's the one I thought might actually be an issue. Obviously there's some charging related items. So I have my charging case, so it has a spare Baton 3. If you're gonna have a Baton 3 with a charging case, you might as well leave one inside always charged, so you can swap them out. If you have two, that is. I have some pens and a couple other things to talk about, but really, that was the big surprise. All that stuff that got through that I just simply did not expect to get through. The other thing that I was carrying was a stack of these. Now, you've never seen these before, but these are utility knife blade holders that I had spare that I didn't have enough blades when I packed them up to be shipped to my hotel. And let me show you what they actually look like. This is sort of an initial reveal. So check this out. Now I moved around a little bit in the box, but I have about 80 plus in here. And the way these work, they're about 2.5mm thick. So really nice and thin. And actually with one hand, you can articulate a utility knife blade for opening packages and then put it back in your wallet. So this is something I'll be giving out at Blade Show. So if you see me, stop by, introduce yourself, and maybe you'll get one of these if I have any left. So I'll be distributing some of these on each of the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So very, very cool. I've been working on this for a while. As you can see, it took a while to actually print all of these myself, which I did with my own 3D printer, and I did the design. That's pretty much it. We're here. I'm really excited. I hope you're excited because I'm going to be producing a lot of content, talking about everything I see there, all of the interactions we have. Oh, I did forget. Oh my God, I forgot an entire bag of stuff that I also wanted to see would get through. So we have a pair of safety scissors. Now these are some pretty amazing scissors. The cutting capability on these is quite a bit better than the ones you find on the Fiskars. I would rather have this one than this. I also have the little Work Sharp field sharpener, which will come in handy. In case I have a chance to, and the permission to measure something, I wanted to have a caliper that was made of brass so it wouldn't scratch any surface, any finish. And this is a very, it's not a super accurate vernier caliper, but it's not bad either. It works just fine. And of course I have a ruler for measuring knife blades and a spare 4mm driver. Now this is the Hoto driver I've talked about a number of times. It's a great to have as a backup. I think that's pretty much it. And of course we have the vault case in their blue. This is the micro, and I plan on keeping this around in case anyone gives me anything. I'll probably end up shipping it out in this box. That's pretty much it for this video. A lot more coming over the next couple days. As always, thank you for your time, and we'll talk again soon.